Because we want to protect our asses from crybabies, salty bitches, and lawsuits, we want to remind you this show is rated M for mature individuals only. That means if you're easily offended by graphic language, griefers, or full frontal nudity, please disconnect now and get the fuck out. Thank you, Mario. But the good podcast is in another castle. I know you want this body, but you just can't have it.
Okay, 1, I don't believe you. 2, it's Tuesday, May 30th, 2017, episode 184 of Remove from Play, the show where we remove ourselves from the culture and hobby discussion. What's that culture and hobby?
Video
games, not spelling things. God damn, I'm checking right now. I'm gonna do it in the show. We're gonna go back up right now. We're gonna mute it so it doesn't make a. God damn, is that spelled wrong?
That is totally.
That is not spelled. That's
wrong.
not spelled. We're checking right now. I don't believe you. Oh my God, it is spelled wrong. How come? God damn it. God fucking damn it. God damn it. The I is supposed to be before the E, isn't it?
Yep. I before E, except after C.
Oh my God. Let's just put it right in the middle. Let's do this. See, everyone gets to see my shame. What? I guess it isn't truly a Remove from Play intro about something being spelled wrong, huh?
Yeah, we'll take it.
Hello, everybody. Again, it's Tuesday, May 30th, 2017, episode 140, 184.
140?
Everything might as well just be wrong at this point. How many years have I been going with that same spelling of review? We're very professional here.
Totally. Totes professional.
So professional. We're so professional. We're totally professional.
We got this. We got it in the bag, in my imaginary bag. That's plastic. Oh.
Yeah, that guy who's got that bag over there is
out.
Artemis Prime. Hello, Artemis Prime. How you doing this week?
Hi.
Doing pretty good.
Doing great.
Yeah, I myself's not doing too well. Apparently, I have had reviews spelled wrong the whole goddamn time. And
all the time we thought it was just much more.
You guys can't. Now you can see me, but I'm shaking my head. Yeah, you just laugh over there. Just keep on laughing up that storm.
It's cool, man. It's cool. We appreciate your hard work.
Yeah, per their lack of there, apparently.
Hey, at least I caught it out. How many people do you think caught it and just never said anything about it?
You know what? I think that just leads me to believe that no one actually reads the intro stuff, which again, if anyone actually reads the disclaimer in the beginning, it doesn't actually say what you think it says. I don't think anyone actually reads anything when they see it. So,
no.
But now that we're pointing it out, maybe people will, and then we'll start getting all the complaints about all the swear words in the opening.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, too bad.
Maybe.
Too bad. We'll just leave review there like that for a long time.
Oh, fuck it. At this point, I'm about to say just keep it. And everyone will be like, hey, you have that thing spelled wrong. I'm like, we know.
Yeah, we realized it in episode 184, and we just kept going with it.
Yeah, and before that, we just thought it was all right. Or I did, at least.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was right, too. And then I was like, that looks really odd.
Isn't that I supposed to be before? Isn't that I before E except after C? What's that shit?
How many episodes have I been on where I didn't notice it?
Well, I would hate. You know what I would hate the most? Because I had to redo the intro a couple times. There's probably a point where it was spelled right and then it got spelled wrong again, but not while you were on. It has been the same since you've been on. So.
No.
But God. Well, now I want to go back and look at all the old intros and see. Hey, wasn't I spelled wrong the whole time? Probably.
All right.
They need to, okay, so here's my petition. Let's get spell checks in all video editing programs, and we'll be good.
I can raise my hand for that.
You can raise your hand as you spin around right there.
As I spin around. Oh, will I stop?
No, but apparently your mic will die. Did your mic die? I think your mic died. All right, well, I'm going to switch it to me, and there's, in this drawer down the hall, wink, wink, there'll be batteries. So again, we're very professional here. Welcome to the show, everybody. We have some bit to talk about with you this week. We have little bites as always. Some news of the week. Not much news. One news item I thought was worth talking about there. And then finishing up with the gaming spotlight. Well, we're talking about a retro game of the week and the new game releases that's coming out between the 25th and 31st of May. But we're going to start this bitch off like we always do. Talk about what games we have been playing. I myself... I did not hear you. I think you put the batteries in wrong. Or you don't have it on, one of the two. So what I'll be talking about this week... Oh, yep, there we go. So he's back. But what I've been playing is I reinstalled StarCraft 2, finally. Because they mentioned how they're always playing the co-op mode.
Always.
And what I would is I dived right into some co-op mode. I teamed up... Okay, here's the thing. If they doesn't find somebody, will team up with you with an AI, or...
No.
Okay, so then I think what happened in my very first game is the guy must have left because eventually my teammate stopped moving completely. So I'm assuming my teammate left and the game kept going without him.
Yeah, if you get into the match, the game's going to keep on going even if you're by yourself.
So, yeah, I think the guy left me. And then I was like, that Zerg guy isn't doing a damn thing. Well, I'll just keep going because he's making me money.
Well, you know what happens sometimes is that like you'll be playing the game and then like in the middle of the match or even at the very beginning of the match, people will just drop out on you. And like during normal or like hard, you can get away with that. But on like brutal, you can't get away with that for nothing. All right, you're going to be fucked.
Yeah, I think I was just on the... Yeah, I think I was on the like normal. I think I was on normal difficulty.
Yeah, like normal hard, you can get away with that just easy. But like fucking...
Yeah, I had to be a normal because I like was not optimizing anything I was doing. I was able to beat them still. So that shows you it wasn't on a hard difficulty. So I reinstalled some StarCraft 2, played a couple of those co-op missions there. And then I also played some Nexus War again because, you know, I love me some Nexus War. And then I've continued on playing Final Fantasy 15 as well. Nothing too new there. And that's about it, what I've been playing. I know Emily is Alone 2 came out, and I think about downloading that and playing that soon as well. Because when I played Emily's Alone, the first one, that made me salty as fuck.
Why did it make you salty?
Well, here's the thing. The game design, it's supposed to be like... It's only like a 45-minute game, and it's a free game. And it's basically... It's for people who don't know what Emily is Alone is. Emily is Away, sorry. Pretty much it's like an old 90s/early 2000 AIM looking screen, and you're talking through this girl through AIM. There's predetermined lines, and you pick from 3 choices, and then he types it out for you, and blah, blah, blah. And over the course of years talking to this girl, you build a relationship and things like that. It's like a relationship simulator. And I tried so hard to like get a happy ending to be with Emily and stuff, but as I tried every option in the game. I reloaded up the game so many times, like there's got to be a way. And I said, fuck this. Then I went to online, and the online was saying, no, there is no happy ending. That's supposed to be the point of the game. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was like, why'd you gotta make it real, man? What happened to my fantasies in video games? But it was a nice little lesson that, you know, some things don't always go the way you want. And that's supposed to be the point of the game. Showing you how things can go astray like that. Because I tried so hard. I'm like, I'm going to make her love me. And like, no, she doesn't. She leaves you.
Ouch.
She goes off parts. So I'm hoping in the second one that he caved into people getting pissy and there's actually a happy ending now. There probably isn't, though, because that was the whole point. I don't see why he would go back on his morals now on the sequel.
Yeah.
It's always a possibility, I guess. How about you, Artemis? What have you been playing?
I was playing Persona for a minute, and then I was playing Persona 5 and Gundam Breakers 3. But then I stopped playing those. I let my brother use them on PS3. So I've been playing more StarCraft, and then I bought Fire Emblem. And I gave Fire Emblem a try. The new one, Echo Shadows of Valentia.
Shadows of Valentia!
And I love StarCraft. Sorry, I've still been playing co-op mode. I've never played Nexus War, though. We'll have to talk about that some other time. But I've been playing co-op mode like nobody's business. I like Phoenix like a lot. Like, because he forces me to use all his units. You know what I mean? Except for like the freaking Zealots. I hate using the Zealots. I don't use them ever. Like my army build with Phoenix is literally the Adepts, the Carriers, the Scouts, the Immortals, the Colossus. I use everything I can. And I'd be like, all right, we killing everything, yo. Burning down villages, whatever we got to do to get things done.
Burning down villages.
And that's been fun. But Echoes of Valentia is like Shadows of Valentia. It's like got me feeling weird, and I say that because like it's the same Fire Emblem game. If you play one Fire Emblem, you've probably played them all. To be honest with you, you know
I like Advance Wars.
it's
No, I'm just kidding.
it's
Similar.
different from like the previous Fire Emblems where you could like talk with everyone, where you had your own character and you can set up things. Because it doesn't seem like it's that. At least not where at the point I'm at in the game. Because it seems like there's cutoff points where your characters will only talk like so much, and then they won't talk to each other again, no matter how much you try to have them battle next to each other. Now that could just be because of the part I'm in the game, but it feels like this is more like a linear version, even though you can swap between your two armies to go and fight. And yeah, the dungeoning is okay. You run up, you hit people, you do more damage, hit them, and then you can fight them. Fatigue is an interesting way to keep your units from to keep you from using the same old units. So that way you want to make sure that you use all your units around and they all become leveled.
Okay.
I like the class change, sort of. Because you have to hit certain levels in order for you to get a class change. And I didn't realize this with my villagers, but I was already like a couple hours into the game. But like it's better to wait and level up your characters first before you go and change them to the class. So you could class change, like for example, villagers, I think you can class change them at like level 5 or 7. But then instead of class changing them, you can train them up to like level 10 or 12, and then their stats will be greater because then they go back down to level 1. But they keep their same stats and they just get additions to the stat, which is cool if you knew that before you leveled up your characters and changed your class. If you didn't know that, then you're like, fuck, well.
Do they make those things sort of clear beforehand, or?
No. It was more like you were just jumping in. Like they said, hey, you can level up your class now. And I was like, okay. So I leveled up my class. And I was like, well, how long do I got to wait for the next class? And like, unless you Googled it and looked into it, like you wouldn't really know it. I had to go through a few forums before I was like, all right. Like you don't have to, but you definitely get a better deal out of your characters if you level them up as high as you can and then shoot them back down to level 1 to re-level them up. Like their stats just get better. But
yeah, I'm indifferent about when games do that because if it's a traditional game, or like on a console or a portable system, that's kind of okay because it's like, all right, if I truly want to, I can start over. It kind of sucks they didn't make it clear in the beginning. When you're like a mobile games, things like that, you have to totally like uninstall the app and do all those things. Sometimes when you do that, you can't even start over again, depending on how the developer designed it. So I think it's really shitty when it's a mobile game because if you invested money and time already, and if you uninstall the app, you only can continue where you left off, or they don't give you a way to wipe from the beginning. That's really shitty. But if it's like portable games, you always have that chance to start over again. But after you invest so much time, it's like really rough sometimes.
It's a good thing it's a portable game because if it was a mobile, I'd be like, fuck this.
Well,
I'm done.
mobile games, when you install the app, usually it starts from the beginning again, or if you have an option to start from the beginning again.
Yeah, but
I've seen that, but I also seen them where they don't do that.
And I think the only other thing that rubs me off wrong with Shadows of Valentia is the DLC that's coming out. Like I was looking at the DLC for it, and besides like the extra boards and stuff, they gave out classes as DLC. Like there's a Spartan class, and then you got this Pegasus rider with like fire wings. I don't know what it's called. I was just looking at it. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's DLC though. And like I feel like I'm okay with DLC to a point. You know what I mean? Like I feel like for something like Fire Emblem, if you're gonna give out like like something where you want your characters to have really good classes and stuff, you're gonna have people who are gonna sit there and be less incentivized to go and just buy straight out classes. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand, you want to make money off your product, but sometimes if you try to be too greedy about it, you lose out and you sort of leave that bad taste in people's mouths. And then it brings up the whole conversation of, DLC, when should they release it? Is it part of the game?
Did they actually make it and they just stripped it out? So it's like double dipping almost.
Yeah, it's a really odd conversation to have because even with talking about just double dipping about, like, you want to reach back in my wallet again? It's just like, it's odd to me because I've always like, when I grew up and with my gaming history, when I grew up, you bought DLC months after the game got done. Just sometimes, and I say months, maybe like a month or two, like Halo would release new map packs. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't get guns as a map pack.
Or
you would
just
get
a skin or something.
Yeah,
you
would get like whole boards. I mean, MOBAs you would get skins, but that's MOBAs. MOBAs sell differently from like Halo, where they sell you whole map packs and stuff, or like something like The Witcher, where they gave you extra missions and stuff, and it actually turned out to be something long and intuitive. But I feel like for something like classes or like a redone skin, the idea is so old now that you just look at it and go like, I don't really want that. I'm good. Peace.
Yeah.
And just like,
It's interesting because what was the recent game that they calculated that all the DLC costs more than the game itself, like coming out of the gate or something? What game was it? Well, I think here's the thing of that. Now, I don't remember if it was like because the game just came out and already had so much DLC that it was beyond what the game was, or if it was months down the line. I think it was a case where the game came out and like a day or two later, they already had so much DLC that it was more than the whole game. And it wasn't in terms of content the same amount. When you see things like that happening, it just shows you that, well, they probably developed all that during the thing and they cut it out just so they could sell the DLC. Which I am, I guess, inherently against, but at the same time, if I don't truly know it, then it would go over my head.
Mm-hmm.
It's just interesting how DLC plays out,
It is because, and it's like if you look at it, it's like, well, how long is the game? Like Persona 5 is fucking over 50 hours. Like at least over 50 hours. And none of that is DLC. That's just like straight gaming. Like even I'm like, fuck, I really want to beat this game and I got another 30 hours to go. Are you serious? Like it is. All right. I don't want to hear it. No one says you're not going to beat the whole game in under like 30 hours. You're just not. Like there's so much day-to-day stuff that you do. It's just hard.
Challenge speedrunners, do it.
Try it, speedrunners. Maybe see how fast you guys can beat
Persona 5, right?
Persona 5. Yeah, but you would look at something like Persona 5
Persona 5
and be like, maybe you would give them more leeway because they have like 80 hours of gameplay. You have new game modes and stuff, and they're not giving you no DLC. But you look at like Shadows of Valentia, and they're like, we got extra boards, we got more skins, we got old characters, we got this, we got that, and you're just like,
oh shit.
There is a lot of DLC for Valentia right now.
Yeah, that's the trend now, so I'm not surprised. It's just like that's just how it is. Like even Nintendo is finally starting to get into it, and luckily they're sort of on a line where they're like fair about it. Like what's interesting is when they show you the DLC stuff before the game comes out, you're like, oh, I get more chambers and tombs and stuff like that. That's cool, but what does that really mean? Yes, if you were following the game, you might know what those are, and they might have released enough about it. But if you're a person who wanted to keep yourself divulged from that, then I don't know. Overall, it's a good thing when they let you know beforehand because then you can decide as a consumer. I think that's a good thing. And if you're a person who didn't care, then you'll just not care, and then you'll check on it later. But like Nintendo, at least because they waited so long, they have the chance of doing it best. But even them, like now that they saw how well that Fire Emblem game did on the mobile, in terms of microtransactions, I'm pretty sure they're going to stop doing some business models like they did Mario Run, where you just pay the lump sum and call it a day. I think they're not going to do that anymore. I think they're going to do free or very cheap and a lot of microtransactions now going forward. Also, I checked the speed runs. According to speedrun.com, the fastest person to beat Persona 5 was 18 hours, 14 minutes, and 32 seconds on hard difficulty.
God damn. Kudos to you.
Yeah.
You must have start a lot. Start and skip. Start and
skip.
Well,
but
yeah.
damn.
Well, because there's a lot of talking and stuff.
18 hours, shit, that's still long for a speed run. I call that a normal run. A slightly faster run is what I would call that.
Because it's hard.
Yeah.
See, that's why I said almost impossible. At least I think I did. I'm going to go back in time and say almost impossible. Yeah. But the DLC conversation has it sucks because you want more. You want to support your game more, but at the same time, you're like, where's the line? That line isn't so clear where you could be like, well, this is acceptable and this isn't. Because what if it wasn't part of the game and they were like, you know what we thought of? This would be a really good idea. Like, we gave them a full game, let's give out some more classes. I mean, they could have thought like that. Maybe they did. And, that's not to talk down to them. It's just like, to me, because of the stigma I've seen with DLC and just going around and playing the games that I've played, I'm just like, I'm not a big fan of DLC. I'm just not. Other people are, it's your money. Do what you want. I won't stop you, but I won't do it.
Have you been playing anything else?
Lots of StarCraft. So much.
Oh yeah,
StarCraft.
now we can play together. Do some co-op missions.
I know. I saw your invite, and I was like, "Fuck! Now I gotta
man.
catch him."
One time I made it to gold on the leaderboards. One time, so I'm a gold player.
You know what, dude? I will never play like 1v1, and it's not because. Well, it's because I do suck. You know what I mean? Like,
I do
like,
too. Gold
like,
is really bad.
You know what I mean?
Gold is really bad. I wonder if
like-
gold's even a level now.
Like maybe I could be like 1 or 2 people, but I feel like I don't get the enjoyment out of the game that I do in like playing the co-op mode. Because to me, the co-op mode is really fun. You know what I mean? Like I really enjoy it. So of course I play it all the time because it doesn't bother me. I feel more relaxed playing that. But that's just me. And then
Yep.
that's my regular games. Valentia is still okay. Oh, and I hate the way the sprites for the people look. Like they look like some Super Nintendo crap. All right, and I say crap very like, because
You're not the target audience for that then, because they obviously were trying to invoke that art style from back in the day. So
and I was looking at it, and I was like, this is stupid. Like I can't even see the whole silhouettes of my characters, yo. Like what?
So it wasn't a sell for you in that art style then. It's
No.
okay. You gotta like it.
I would give Valencia like somewhere in the middle, because at least like it's Fire Emblem. You play Fire Emblem, you get Fire Emblem. Okay, I like the gameplay and stuff. I don't count the DLC as anything. The game as a whole is like it's a pretty good game. You know what I mean? If you never played Fire Emblem before, you should give it a look at.
Yeah, especially because actually Nintendo just announced Fire Emblem Heroes. Okay, what is this again?
Bridal event.
Bridal Blessing event.
Yep.
Yeah. So is this for the game you're? Fire Emblem
That's for the
Heroes?
mobile
That's
one.
The Heroes one's the mobile. Yeah. So for you people that are interested in that, it seems that they're doing a special event for this for your mobile device here. Let's see. I'm trying to read here.
Basically, you can.
Oh, okay. It entices more people to participate in. Nintendo has revealed the Fire Emblem Hero Bridal Blessing event. You will get a new special heroes entering the fray, including oh god damn it, how do you say his
Charlotte,
name?
Lynn.
I'll let you do this.
Like I looked at it, it was Charlotte, Lynn,
It's Charlotte. It's a Caedia Shadra.
Kaeda.
God damn it! I give up, guys.
I,
I give up.
I got you. I'm sorry. I didn't pull it up because
Yeah, there's
that was a
Lynn.
great segue. But yeah, it's Kaeda, Charlotte, Cordelia, and Lynn in bridal gowns. Excuse me. Pretty much them in wedding dresses. I mean, like don't get me wrong. Fire Emblem, the mobile game, is really good. For what it is. It's a mobile game. You can spend money, buy characters. It's a good business model. I ain't gonna knock it. You know what I mean? Giving people characters and like different skins and stuff, like when they did the Easter event. It's a great idea. It's how you get money. And I'm not knocking that door anytime soon. I'm like, go for it. You go and you make all those microtransaction money. I'm just saying. I don't play it no more though because it takes forever to get characters.
Yeah, so I'm going to attempt to play Nintendo Video, so let's hope this doesn't go bad. But yeah, they got some video here and everything. You can't play the game in landscape mode, can you?
No.
No. So here it's also okay. So they wear little dresses. Look at that.
No.
Yeah, people eat that shit up, man. Especially in Japan.
No.
Oh, people are gonna eat that shit up. Look at them. They look cute as fuck. You're just dropping little flowers. Oh, isn't that precious? Look at that. Okay, so is this even a? You played this for a little while, or do you still play this?
No, I don't play it anymore now because the game is.
Is this bridal event enticing you to come back to play it again?
No, not really. I got a real Fire Emblem game. Like, here's the thing. The mobile game is good, but it makes me want to play a real Fire Emblem game. And as much as I have, like, a distaste of Valentia, it's not that bad of a game. Like, it's really not. The storyline's on point. The characters are interesting. You want to see their interactions. Sure, you can't get certain characters to interact with other characters, but again, I think it's just because of where I'm at in the story, and if I get further, that may change. So my view of the game may change after I beat it or get further into it. Probably it's going to change. I'll let you know next week, but I'm going to keep playing.
As an outsider, they look cute as fuck.
But like right now, it's an okay game. Like the mobile game just makes me want to play a real Fire Emblem game, and I play like the last three religiously. Dragon 1, and the one where you went back in time. I forgot what that name was. It was like Shadows of blah blah blah.
I
And
have
then I
played
played
one Fire Emblem game ever.
Conquest and Birthright. I love those. I gotta beat Revelation.
Yeah, I was more of a Monster Hunter guy. And speaking of Monster Hunter, I'm trying to do better in the segues. But then I say that I'm doing better in segues, which ruins it. But so yes, Monster Hunter XX was announced for the Switch. This is what I've been waiting for, a Monster Hunter game for the Switch. All right, it is going to just be the DS game, but that's okay because it's going to look better, and I'm going to play it on a bigger screen and a big screen. So it's going to be so much better. And they're even offering to transfer your character over through the DS, and you'll actually be able to do cross-platform play with people on the 3DS, which is pretty amazing. I didn't even know that was a feature that the Nintendo Switch had, but apparently it is. It has the ability to do that. So that's really cool. And you can play up to 4 people co-op locally with the Switch or play with them online, as you expect. They've only announced release dates for Japan, obviously, because the XX just came out in Japan not too long ago. And for the Switch, it's coming out this year too, but no word on North America. But as everyone has been reminding me, luckily, you can import it because Switch is no longer region locked, so you can just play a Japanese version of a game if you want. So that is possible.
Does it have subtitles? I mean, like English options? I can't read Japanese.
I would say no.
So I can't read
would say
Japanese,
no.
so, you know.
I would say no, but honestly, with online and just clicking A, you don't need to read the dialogue for anything. Maybe.
But what if I don't want to know what item I've got?
Well, actually, through the picture, if you're a hardcore
Oh.
Monster Hunter guy, you might be able to know most of the items because it's just going to be. They didn't really introduce too much new into the game, so. And there's always online.
Because this will
The
probably be the first
Monster Hunter
Monster.
Wikipedia is the best.
I'm telling you right now, if it does come out for the Switch for North America, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
I'll play it with you guys.
As soon as they announce the date for North America, I'm going to be buying a Switch a month before it comes out.
Yeah. See, we like to wait to buy stuff, but I ended up getting the money to buy a Switch, so I bought me a Switch. And so far, all I played is Legend of Zelda. Great game. It's like a reasonable 8. You know, it's not
Mario
like
Kart, man.
it's not beautiful, but I haven't really played Mario Kart. Like even that day when we were at the party, I came really late, and then I just started, having adult fun. But I didn't really get the chance to play Mario Kart. But I've been hearing random reviews about it that it's literally the greatest Switch game ever, if you have friends.
Yeah, the only reason I would tell you to buy it is just in case you ever do bring your Switch somewhere, then you can have Mario Kart as an option to play with against other people or to just have the party game with you. Cartridges are so small now, so it's nice.
Yeah, even the case that I have for my Switch holds up so many games. So
I need to find it when I get mine. I gotta find a case that will hold 2 Pro controllers.
you know what? I'm mad because my case doesn't hold extra controllers. So
Yeah, but theoretically, you won't. Are you really picky about if you're playing by yourself? Those attached to the gamepad.
yeah, well, it carries the
console
whole
itself.
thing. It carries the whole.
That'll
thing,
be fine
but-
for you. The only time it's shitty is when you're playing multiplayer, when you have to hand someone half of the controller. That's when it gets shitty. So I don't blame you for not. I don't really think your case would be bad then. It's just not designed for. It is designed. It's just. I don't think anyone really likes separating the Joy-Cons. That's why I'm I want to find one that gets me hold 2 Pro controllers, so I can just bring those with me to give to people.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
The Switch is nice. We're just portable enough where you can literally bring it around you. When I came over here and I had my Switch, I had my whole Switch in my back pocket. I rode my bike here. It was in my pocket. Legend of Zelda, the whole big thing, just chilling in my back pocket. Came over, parked my bike, came in. We started talking. I pulled it out and I started playing. I was like, "This is portable as a motherfucker, yo."
Yeah, it's nice. Like I said, there's the best of both their worlds together.
It really is. I give it to Nintendo. This may be their step out the gate. They just need to beware of microtransactions and DLC. Literally, because that can get you places and that can take people away from you real fast if you don't know how to market it. Destiny. Who said that?
Destiny 2 is going to be good though.
Probably.
I think they're fixing all the mistakes they made in Destiny 1. Finally,
Yeah, that's why it's gonna be good because they're not gonna fuck up like they did Destiny 1.
Next little bite we have here, since we're totally in the little bite section at this point, Games of Gold has been shown for June. We're going to get a couple of things here. Speedrunners for Xbox One. I guess I should get that.
You can play it for a month from June 1st to June 30th. It's free play days.
Yep, exactly.
Yo, if you haven't played Speedrunners, play Speedrunners.
It's a fun party game.
It is so much fun. It's literally a fun party game. You can sit there with 4 people and just have a great time.
Yep.
And be like, how did he do that? But my advice to you is if you're playing it and you're turning, boost when you turn, all right? Boost when you turn.
So you
Don't
lose that
freaking just
momentum.
run all the way through and then you like fall. Like in the first board when you run up and then you fall down, turn around immediately and boost and you'll get so much more. You'll cut off so many more seconds.
Yeah, because you won't lose any of your momentum.
No, but if you just fall down, you'll literally just fall right into the wall. Even while you turn the other way, you'll still just fall. Like, save your boost for your turns, and you will thank me. Like, your life has never depended on it before.
Yep, and the other game for Xbox One.
Speedrunner champion right here.
Speedrunner champion. Yeah, he beats us all the time. I'm gonna get better though, and he'll lose eventually. Next one is Watch_Dogs. So there you go. You can enjoy that. For Xbox 360, you're getting Assassin's Creed 3 and Dragon Age Origins. That Dragon Age series, and then there's some DLC pack. Hang on, what DLC pack is this? Blah 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 blah. And apparently you're getting some DLC with stuff. I think it's the Dragon Age DLC or something. They come with it. Yeah, I don't really know what this is. DLC. God, it's all messed up. But anyways, while I'm looking that up. Oh, right here. Oh. 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 Yeah.
Oh.
I have no idea what this thing is.
What?
Phantom Dust. That's what it is.
I didn't know what that was either.
No, Phantom Dust is what it is. So bonus members are getting a free DLC set for the free release. So what you got? They re-released Phantom Dust with like HD graphics, so they're offering the DLC, which is normally valued at $14.99. So that's nice. They give you a DLC pack for other free game they already offered.
DLC.
You never played Phantom Dust from the Xbox original days?
No.
Oh man, it's actually a cult classic. Really, it's very popular for a bunch of small group hardcore fans. I definitely recommend it. One of the only few games that was really good on the Xbox original. What do you think about Xbox original? What games do you think about?
Halo.
And
Republic Commando.
wasn't that
Fable.
also on GameCube though?
Was it? I don't remember it being
I
on
wonder,
GameCube.
but yeah, of course, Fable. I totally read about Fable.
Republic Commando, Fable.
Well, Republic Commando was. I think it was best on.
Star Wars Battlefront.
Actually, I think Republic Commando was only for only for Xbox. Oh yeah, it was. It was only for Xbox and PC. So there you go. I could have sworn it was on GameCube.
I liked Republic.
I think I'm thinking of a different game.
Why did I say Republic Commando? Because literally it had one of the best AIs of their time. Like, you told people to do stuff and they did it. Like, your squad followed your directions. They ain't do no stupid shit. They were just good. Star Wars Battlefront.
That was multi-platform, that one, because I used to play that on PlayStation 2. But Republic Commando was definitely Xbox. So yeah, like I would say Republic Commando. I loved Fusion Frenzy. I'm one of those guys.
Need for Speed.
Black was good. Need for Speed was multi-platform, wasn't it? I wonder.
Probably. I think it was like PS2.
Well, I don't really care. If you thought it was on Xbox, that's a memory. That's fine. It really doesn't matter. Let's see. So Fusion Frenzy, Black was exclusive. Let's see.
The first Guitar Hero. I played that on the Xbox. I played that religiously on the Xbox.
Yeah, they did go to Xbox as well. I remember.
Mm.
Good stuff. So yeah, so Phantom Dust was one of those games that was exclusive for the Xbox original, and it was pretty an interesting game for sure. So that's our Xbox Live Games of Gold for that June month. Next little bite here. Sony has finally stopped making PlayStation 3s. The last shipment went out to retailers. So now once those are gone, those are gone. It's been going, let's see. It's been going on for, what is that? Since it launched. Okay, so PlayStation 4 launched on November 2013. Wow, if that was 2013, that was a long time ago.
Mm.
But oh yeah, PlayStation 3 originally launched 2006, November. Ended up being 11 years-ish. That's about 11 years. 12 or 11, depending how you, because it was the end of 2006. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And it sold a total of 78 million. That's pretty amazing. So that's pretty good. That was about 11 to 12 years of its life cycle. And that's almost went as far as the PlayStation 2 did, because the PlayStation 2 went about, it did go 13 years. And it's going to be weird seeing that go. The last generation of consoles were around for a good chunk of time. And a lot of good games came out in that generation and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
there was a lot of steps, too. Like, some things left us, but like the Xbox 360 days, PS3 days, they had a lot of great games.
Yeah.
And it may have taken a while, but they had some really good games.
Yeah, because initially PlayStation 3 didn't have a strong start due to the high price tag and 360 already having a year up on everybody, and it was good. It took a long while to come back, but it was a good console, and that was a good console generation because this generation definitely seemed like a half step. Now they're kind of correcting it with like Project Scorpio, and now we get the PlayStation 4 Pro. But even then, the Pro for PlayStation 4 still isn't the best, and I think Scorpio might be what we were actually looking for from the start, so that will be nice. But long live PS3, PS3ology, baby.
Remember how long the PS2 lasted?
Yeah, like 13 fucking years, man.
You know what? I will give it to Sony. They may have some slow startups sometimes, but they will make your system last.
Yeah.
The
PlayStation and PlayStation 2 had fast startups. It wasn't only till PS3 that they had a rough time because they thought they were hot shit, and they thought, yeah, we totally can make this over-engineered console and sell it for $600 so people will buy it. And now they were wrong. It was too much. The cell processor was amazing, man. It was, but goddamn.
It was $600 too. That shit was
so expensive. For like a 60 gig version. Man.
I think it took me a few years before I got mine.
My first one was the 80 gig model for the Metal Gear Solid edition. That was my first one.
Oh yeah, Metal Gear Solid.
Yep. And finally, our last little bites, which I know Arthur must be excited about.
Woohoo! Gundam Versus. I'm excited about this because halfway excited, and I say halfway excited because it's coming to Japan, but like it has a release date. It's Gundam Versus. Basically, you pick a suit and you go fight other mobile suits, and you go beat the fuck out of each other. Yeah. Right? I mean, like, what more is there to say? It's giant mechs. I love Gundam. All right, I'm a Gundam fanboy, like nobody's belief. But is the release date for Asia is July 6th, and then we get it sometime in the fall, which of course translating and blah 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 blah.
There'll be a trial version between June 1st and July 1st as well for people
in Japan.
In Japan, well, you can make a Japanese account. There you go.
But it's truthfully, I haven't seen a Gundam game for the PS4 that is coming to North America. All right, like there are Mobile Suit games for the PS4 that you gotta get from PlayAsia. All right, you just have to. But I mean, like, this is a big step to bringing in some games from over there, because Japan be hoarding them all. Yeah. At least like if you watch anime and stuff like we do, then Japan, you definitely be holding out on us. And I'm just saying, you missing their market over here too. But I mean, it sucks though because like there's some stupid subtitle law, or I forget what it is, but it's like the same reason they didn't release like Dynasty Warriors not Dynasty Warriors, Warriors Orochi 3, was because they couldn't release it on a disc because it didn't have like voice acting or subtitles. It's some stupid little thing like that, some little clause like that. Then that's the reason why they don't bring over their Asian exclusive games.
Interesting. So what do you think about them doing? Apparently they've done this before, but in this one they're going to be releasing all the mobile suits as downloadable content after the fact. Obviously there's stuff in the game, but But they do say they plan to do all these updates after the game is done, not like these things that they cut out. I think they made that very clear.
I'd like to see, like this is one of those, let's see what they do. Because the thing I do give DLC, and even a game in general when it comes out, is you can wait before you buy it and see what happens.
Yeah, they announced what the first one will be. It'll be Gundam Barbossa Lupus.
Barbados.
Oh, Jesus.
Lupus. I got you, Matt.
What did I say, Barbossa? Like
Barbossa.
I seen Pirates of the Caribbean recently, and that's stuck in my head.
Many times.
Which one is this one? I'm googling it now. I don't know what this one is. What the fuck is this one from?
It's from the second season.
Oh, Blood Orphans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
I gotta finish the second season of Blood Orphans. I've been taking my time, but it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see like when they release it. I'm gonna say if first. If they release it here, what are they going to do? Like, are they going to have all the kinks fixed out before they release it to us here? Because that's what I would hope, you know what I mean? Like, if you release over there in Japan and you run into issues, you get those all fixed before you ship it over here. Because I'll be damned if I go and pick up a game and then it's like versions behind the main game. You know what I mean?
Well, they do say in the article that it is region free, so there you go. If you just want to try it out, you can still import it.
No, I'm good. Well, maybe if it has subtitles. Like if it's like Gundam Breakers, I'll just import it.
Gotcha.
Because I still have a blast with Gundam Breaker. It's literally everything I ever wanted in a Gundam game. But This is cool. I really like when companies bring out their games and then bring it out to everyone. You know what I mean? Like, don't
Yeah.
just keep it in one market. Bring it all in. And I'll wait. I'll see. I'll let you see how you want to how you want to show me your DLC and stuff. It's cool. I got time. My money ain't going nowhere except to bills.
Exactly. Alrighty, so that'll be our little bites. Let's get into some news of the week for the week.
It's time for gaming news.
Already, our only news item for this week is the only thing that seemed like newsy at all. Xbox Game Pass launches June 1st. They announced the game when it'll start off 100 titles.
You mean the Netflix of Xbox One, right?
Pretty much. So it'll be launching June 1st, 2017 with over 100 games in its catalog, reported by Major Nelson as a little podcast thing. For anyone who has forgotten what Xbox Game Pass is, I think it was back in February they announced it. It's pretty much a streaming service, not like PlayStation Now, but instead you'll be able what you'll do is you download the titles to your Xbox. And if you're subscribed to Game Pass and then want to purchase the game to keep in your library, then you'll have access to and then you'll also gain access to exclusive discounts and everything like that. So the idea is, as long as you're subscribed to the Game Pass, you'll be able to just download the game and be able to play it. But it will have the one problem with this is not even a problem. Like the one way it's designed is that some things will rotate out like Netflix. So there could be a game that'll be on there for a year. There could be a game that's only on there for 4 months. So if you want to keep the game permanently, you better buy it while you have it downloaded and unlock it from there. That way, when it gets rotated out, you'll be able to keep it and whatnot. So it's a very interesting service. I actually think it's pretty cool because the one thing I want to double check is I don't know if your Xbox Live subscription covers this, because that means everybody would have access to this. Yeah, so it's okay. So it's in. All right, so it's an addition service, so you have to pay an additional $9.99 a month in addition to your Xbox Live Gold and whatever like that. So for $10 a month, an additional $10 a month, that's what you'll be able to unlock that feature. And we got a bunch of games that already announced for Halo 5 Guardians, Lego Batman, BioShock Infinite, Payday, Mega Man Special Series, Gears of War series. Yeah, there's a lot of games on here. Hectic 2 from they even got Xbox 360 games on here from the Platinum Collection and everything. So what do you think about this service in general?
It's an interesting service. It'll definitely get you $120 a year out of people.
Yeah.
You know what
well, you can. To my knowledge, you don't have to have gold to get this, but I would think if you're gonna have Xbox Live, if you're gonna have this,
well,
you know what I mean?
I feel like if you're gonna use this service, right, you're gonna use it more for single player games. I mean, cause
I would assume, yeah, because
you're gonna buy a multiplayer game. If you find this is a good game good game. This pass is a good idea to introduce other games to people that you normally wouldn't play. You know what I mean? Like some multiplayer games, you could probably get those sold. You know what I mean? Like if your friends see it and you're playing with your friends and they're like, hey, this is free. Why don't you guys download it and play it with me? And you all have the Xbox Pass and you all decide you like it, you can go and buy the game like that.
Yeah, it's interesting because I didn't even think of it like that for a promotion, and it does expose people to games. Because obviously things like Gears of War and Halo, they might be on there for ever. But the other games, they won't be on there. They can be on there for a year or two. It's gives you a chance to try it out. And if you want to pay $9.99 a month to have that ability to try out anything that's on there, then that's not too bad. And you're going to be paying the same price if you're going to buy it anyways. So it's not like you're paying additional $10. You're just paying for the ability to have trials.
And plus, it's $10. Even if you don't want to use it for the full year, you can still just turn it off after the next, and let your subscription just fall off. And if you want to renew it, then you can just renew it. It's a good idea because it gives the consumer the option to go, hey, I want in, and when you want out, you want out.
Yeah, it's definitely a good option for consumers. But I will say, I gotta give it to Microsoft. It's a good, clever way to not support demos anymore. It's you can make a demo for your game, or you can just get on this service, and there you go. And people could try your game that way.
And that's another interesting thing too. You know what I mean? Get people to play, get other games on there. You know what I mean? It's getting exposure. And truthfully, in the gaming industry, even if your game is bad or even if your game is good, if you get exposure and people know you, you can get some. Let me clear that up. Actually, if you have bad exposure, you're pretty much fucked. You know what I mean? Someone to me, Ubisoft, I ain't buying a game from them. All right, never. After the way they did For Honor, I'm just fuck you to the extreme. And that's me. That's the negative exposure makes me not want to buy your stuff. Maybe it does for some other people. Maybe it doesn't for others. But this is a good way to get at least good exposure out. Like if you can get more good exposure than bad exposure, you're doing something right. You'll probably sell a few games that way.
Yeah, for sure. And that's like one of my whole feelings about it is it's another great service for people to try out. You not only do you get Xbox One, but also 360 games are on there.
Excuse me.
Oh, bless you. So that's pretty good. There are only negatives I see from it is obviously things aren't going to be on there forever if they made the stating, but they don't give you an exact timeline. Netflix, we know things rotate after like 4 months or something like that.
Mhm.
But since they don't have a timeline for it, we don't truly know. I assume like Microsoft games, since they're not paying licensing fees to put that on there, that they can keep those on there as long as they want. And $10 is just enough to make sense to pay for that. I don't know if they're making a profit, it can't be really high. They might be making like 40 to like 10% maybe, or if they're making like higher than 50, I'd be surprised because they have to pay some of these companies to get this on there for people just to download it and play it for free essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So that $10 covers that. And if they get enough subscriptions, maybe theoretically they can make a buck off of it. And I really like your point of view of it being exposure. I think that's the greatest part. It gives you a chance to try other games. And this is just another great option. It does seem a little weird when you think about if you're buying multiple things, like having your Xbox Live Gold and having this and having like the marketplace is getting a little crowded pretty much because now you have to decide, well, do I buy like the EA thing that's only on Xbox that lets me play EA games early? Or should I just take that money and put it towards the Xbox Live, the Xbox, I already forgot what the name of the thing's called.
Xbox Pass.
Game Pass. How do I put it towards Game Pass? Because people aren't going to be able to afford everything. At that point, you're going to be paying a lot of money, like your Gold, your EA, your Game Pass. My God, that's 3 subscriptions right there per month. Like you might be getting into the 150. Heck.
No, well, yeah, per year.
Maybe
Well,
100.
let's see. Per year, you would pay if you do the $50 a year for the Xbox, right? Just a
Oh, it's
regular
60, I
subscription.
thought, Xbox.
Oh yeah, 60. Well, you can get some deals. So like, let's go with 60 though, just to be on the safe side. So 60 plus the 120 a year. So you're at 180 a year. Excuse me. You're at 180 a year for Xbox so far. That's just with the music. That's just with the pass itself, and with the subscription. Yeah.
Trying to find out how much EA access is. So we got 60. What was that? 180 a year? You said?
Yeah, 180.
Isn't it 120? No, $10. $9.99.
$10. 10 times 12, 120.
Yeah, 120 plus 120. Yeah. So 180. And how much EA access? Okay, they do $30 a year. So plus 30.
So you're at 210.
We're at 210. Oh shit. So if you just want those 3 subscription services, that's 210. Oh my God, a year. Oh my God. Whew. Whew. Whew.
It's tough. I mean, like.
You have to cut some corners. You have to start making some decisions. I wonder if EA is liking their service anymore. I wonder if they're happy about this.
Well, I
Because
mean,
obviously EA games are going to be on this. Because then why the hell would you even pay for EA access if the EA games are going to be on this? They're never going to get EA games on here. So if you want to get those early, or you just want to be able to download those, that's one way to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's getting a little crowded. That's the one thing that's going to get a little rough. The more services we get, we're going to get pretty crowded in the market. So it's going to have to make some decisions of what you really care about. But I mean, that's a good thing because then you have choices.
Choices is always good.
God, then what stops someone like Ubisoft from saying, fuck it, we'll do like Ubisoft early access and they take off their games off of this. Then that's before services. That could happen one day, but we'll deal with that when it comes up. But overall, this is good. I think this is a good thing. More options is usually always a good thing.
Do we think there's any really bad things besides just the clumped up ones? I'm trying to think of like some negatives to like this, because
one thing is they're not on there forever. 2, it's another $10 you got to pay. That sucks because if you, again, like we just said, $210 if you want to have all those 3 services, that's a year. So that's one big negative there. Additional $10.
that doesn't even count if you have the Xbox Music Pass. Because Xbox Music Pass is another $10 a month.
Oh, that's separate.
Yeah, that's
I
separate.
thought that was like included in gold.
Nope.
I think they need to start sweetening up their gold package at this point because I think people are gonna get sick of that. So I think that's the biggest issue about it. It's an additional $10. You'd have to just make those decisions what you actually want.
Yeah. You know what? I totally agree. This subscription is starting to get a little, maybe I don't need
Getting a
the
little crowded.
subscription no more. I mean, like, it could suck actually if you do need your gold in order to get the Xbox Pass.
To my knowledge, you do not need that. I'm looking at this. There's nothing that implies. I'm trying to see the original post from Major
Mhm.
Nelson when they first announced Game Pass. Let's see here.
I hope they don't do that because I feel like you'll gain so much more business that way. Because let's face it, the people who have Xbox Gold are going to keep Xbox Gold. But the people who can't afford Xbox Gold but want to use your Music Pass, they're going to be like, well, I can't use it, so fuck your Music Pass. I guess I'm going with EA.
Yeah, according to the original post here, you don't need gold. This is just something separate.
That would be cool then. I hope they keep it separate. Like, as long as they keep it separate, they'll get more money in their pockets that way.
Yeah. And one negative thing about this, let's say you do just maybe want to go the route where you just have the Game Pass and not have gold. Well, you're not going to play those games online.
Yep. Well, but then you can play the single player game.
You can play the single
All the
player.
single player games
Yeah,
you've
you
never
can play
played
the single
before.
player for sure. Yeah.
You could definitely play all of them. So
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's a little twists and turns here, but this is more of a positive than a negative. You know what I mean? Because it's a positive in that it gives you, the gamer, the consumer, a choice as to what you want to buy. You know, as to what games you want to buy out. You know, it gives you a chance. You know, and
Gives
plus
you
you can
that
only
chance.
play it for like 2 months, and if you find games you like, just buy the games you like and then cancel it.
Yep.
Play it for a month. You know what I mean? And just speed run all your games.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know,
Heck,
just
this is another good thing about this. It could serve some competition because now maybe EA Access has to sweeten the pot to justify paying for EA Access in addition to these other services. Because you're getting they're starting off with over 100 games for Game Pass. There's no saying that they can't expand that to 200, and then things will start rotating out after that, things like that. And yeah, you only miss out on the EA games. It comes down to, does EA really think that their games are that much better that justifies that price? I think that's what this could stir up too, because EA is going to have to sweeten their pot at this point to justify that price. So. Which is a good thing, competition, you know.
There's this $30 a year.
You could pay $4.99 a month.
That's not that bad.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
For those Madden people, they love it. They get Madden like a week or two early and shit.
And yeah.
Yeah.
That $30 isn't that bad though, because that's the price of a full game. So if you have one EA game that you like,
It already paid for itself,
pretty much,
and then you just buy, and then you can play all the other stuff. Like I said, I think it's for the Madden gamer who literally buys Madden, but now he'll try other EA games because he already pays for it and he's already on the list. All those games are on the list. There's other sports games, so they'll try the sports games, obviously, and then you have the non-sports games to try as well. Alrighty, so that was our news of the week. So let's get into gaming spotlight. Alrighty, first starting off with I have a retro game pick of this week that I wanted to mention before we get into new releases. I don't know if you recognize this thing.
Hey, didn't we see that at our pool place?
You're funny. So this is 3D Pinball Space Cabinet. For anyone who doesn't know,
Cadet.
3D Pinball for Windows has been a game for a while, but Space Cabinet was a version that specifically came out for Microsoft Windows. And this was originally debuted in 95 and then was all the way to Windows Millennium Edition 2000 and even Windows XP days. I don't know about you, but I used to play the shit out of this pinball game on Windows XP. I had so many good memories
I remember that. Okay.
of playing this. When your internet would go out, you go, well, I ain't got no games to play online, so I'm going to load up the pinball. And me and my sister used to compete to who would get a high score. And one time I got like 1 million, and then she got 2 million, and then I got 3 million, and blah, blah, blah. And we would go back and forth. And I used to play hours on this goddamn pinball. This is the game that I played the most pinball with. And that's sad because obviously I didn't grow up during a generation having physical pinball, really. So I was able to play the one for Windows XP quite a bit. And I played it a lot. Right up there with Minesweeper and everything. But I definitely played this more than Minesweeper. So I definitely wanted to give it. There's really not much to talk about with this thing. It did have the whole tilt thing. You could press a button to do the tilt. Then after a while, if you tilted too much, it would have the auto. Oh, you're trying to tilt. So it would freeze your pinball machine up, and then you'd hope to God that the ball didn't go away because you couldn't hit it back. So it was just a classic here, man. I'll tell you, being able to play this pinball game was so fun. I used to play it for so many hours on rainy nights and stuff when the internet would go out. It's just like. Did you ever play this on the Windows XP or anything?
I did. When I was when I finally got my computer and I was there surfing the web and just trying stuff, and this popped up, and I was like, oh, back then you could search like the web, and you could actually not get a virus and destroy your computer. I mean, all right, let me rephrase that. It was harder to do that, but you could get away with it. You know what I mean? And I've actually ran into this game. I think I've run into different skins of it too, but it wasn't that bad because this was actually my first like interaction with a pinball machine. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Until I realized how badly I sucked at it, and then I was like, well, fuck this game, because I'm mini Arthur, so of course I'm like, I don't know how to play this. I'm trying, but I just keep losing the ball. Oh well, I guess I suck. You know.
Yeah, there's always a good time, and I would say if I ever get a gaming place, I'll have to set up a computer with a giant screen to emulate this, and this will be the one, and that will be really great.
This would be his one too. He's not lying to you all. This will literally be his one game, where he's just like, I don't care what you all play.
You came here for beer and everything else? No, it's the only pinball machine in here. Let's play. All right, so let's go over the noted game releases for this week. I picked out 2 this week that I thought were notable. The first one is, I never thought I'd be saying this in 2017, Ultra Street Fighter 2: The Final Challengers.
Woo!
So yet another version of Street Fighter 2. Who would have thought it? So pretty much this is just the HD version of Street Fighter 2 that came out like, I don't know, 2006, 2008, maybe 2009, one of those years, somewhere in there. But it does have a couple of new modes and 2 new characters added to it, Evil Ryu and Violent Ken. It's $40 though, so I was watching some overviews and review of it. It's essentially just the HD remix with some extra modes. It does have that first person mode, so if you're really into that, that's kind of cool. You can do that, and it is exclusive to the Nintendo Switch as well. So overall, it's I think the only problem I really have with it is that it's fucking $40. It's a re-release of an old game. Yeah, they did some touch up on it and everything, and they put some like sound options in there, but $40 is a little bit much. I feel like this is, especially when the HD remix came out. Originally they came out at like $15 to $20. So they gave us almost essentially the same thing but doubled the price. So that's really my only nitpick about it. Other than that, if you like Street Fighter 2, it's fucking Street Fighter 2, man, with 2 new characters.
This is gonna be a little off topic, but I really dislike the business model of fighting games. Like I do, because I feel like fighting games try to just beat you for all the money that you're worth, and then just keep beating you and beating you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're in a weird situation right now because some games still do like the old way. Like, all right, here's the game, and now we'll just do the DLC packs where you get new characters, and we'll do it that way. Or you do like what Street Fighter was trying to do, like the new one on the PlayStation, where you had the account for it, and then you had to build up fight coins and stuff like that, and then that's how you could buy skins and costumes. Or you could just bought the coins and then bought the costumes that way. So they're trying to experiment to do different things with like the old way of doing it, where like you can't get these characters unless you buy the DLC. Like that old way of doing it. Some people still do that. Or like I think you're about to talk about now, the different versions.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's definitely an old way of doing it. Like Street Fighter 2, man. Like I was making that joke about Street Fighter 2. I'm gonna look up right now how many versions of Street Fighter 2 was there back in the day, while you go ahead and talk about why you don't like that version thing.
That version thing was so terrible, because I remember I have friends who used to be in the fighting game community, and they expressed their extreme displeasure over Street Fighter, because what Street Fighter did was first it was Street Fighter, right? Then the next version of it had an extra character that was broken. All right, so that extra character would like destroy people, right? And because it was engineered broken. And I say that like a scientist or something, but it was a broken character, you know what I mean? And rather than put an update to limit that character, you had to buy a whole new game that updated it so that way that character was not as broken. And I was just like, isn't that just stupid? And that's why I have a distrust of fighting games. That's really one of my biggest reasons why, because I don't want to buy a game and then find out that there's one broken character and then I have to buy a whole new game in order for that character to not be broken.
Yeah, because it was like even during the Street Fighter 4 days, all those different versions, and then they released that final definitive version, which actually one thing I had given props, because what they did for that final definitive version was they let you switch between all the different versions. So if you wanted to play like vanilla Street Fighter 4 Ken, you could do that. You could set the game to do that. Or you could play the modern version with the latest patches and stuff. So that was one cool thing they did. But during that time, the idea of making a new version to patch things, that was like until Street Fighter V, that's what they did. They did that all the way up to Street Fighter 4. And I can see why you were burned by that, because that was such an old business model way of doing that. And that was during like the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 days that Street Fighter 4 shit was going on. That was a relatively modern era, and they were doing things like that when they could have just patched things for free. You know? Or fuck, man, I'll even meet you halfway. I'll even try to compromise with Capcom. Why don't you just release them as a downloadable pack that I had to pay for at least? Which I think people would have been pissed about. But essentially, that's what your new game was. Another $60 for patch changes and some new characters.
And the game was still $60. Like, truthfully, I prefer DLC models as opposed to
that whole new game thing. Speaking of that, I have the list. All right, so here's the list of all the time Street Fighter 2 shit. So we have Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 the world. Okay, so Street Fighter 2 the World Warriors. That was like the first one. Then we got Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. Then we had Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting. Then we had Street Fighter 2 the New Challengers. Then we had Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Then you had Hyper Street Fighter 2. And now we have Ultra Street Fighter 2 the Final Challengers is what we have now, which came out in 2017, which I would have never thought that was going to be a thing. So, oh my God, those are all the time Street Fighter 2 changed. We're still getting changes to Street Fighter 2 in 2017. Blows my mind.
It's tough because, like, I used to play Marvel vs. Capcom religiously. Like,
that series is a little better.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it wasn't that bad. They gave you DLC characters, but then you had to buy the next Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where you could still use your DLC characters, but it gave you an extra 8 characters, but you already spent your $40. And then I think there was a trade-in they were doing at the time where it's like $10 off that game, so you were paying $30. But if you thought about it, you were really paying like $70 to $80.
Yeah.
For essentially one game, because you're not going to play the first one anymore because the second one has all your characters and you can play the DLC.
Yeah. So I'm glad that other than this Street Fighter 2 example, that they've seemed to get away from that during Street Fighter 5. Like now it's just you buy the DLC characters and you add them on and stuff like that. And they're just doing active patch updates now. Because heck, man, even back in the Street Fighter 4 days, they would have just essentially, instead of making a fucking new game, I think it, and this is a hindsight thing, because I think at the time people would have revolted because they were kind of used to the new game thing. But if they would have did it at the time, in hindsight, just doing a DLC pack and paying $10, I think that would have been much better than paying $60 every 2 years for another fucking version of Street Fighter 4, you know? Yeah, I would have accepted that in hindsight much better. But yeah, that's one of the noted games this week. Another Street Fighter 2 game in 2017 for $40.
Yeah, fighting games are to me. Like, I like them, but I'll keep to my, at least like with the Sony, I don't have to worry about all those patches and those different versions. I mean, yeah, maybe there's like 100 versions of Tekken, but at least I like Dead or Alive.
I would debate there's more versions of Street Fighter than there are of Tekken.
Yo, there are more versions.
Okay, wait.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that.
I might be wrong here. I bet Blaze Blue or Guilty Gear probably have a lot.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm just saying though, like at least Tekken and stuff have less. Yeah. Dead or Alive is my baby.
Yeah. Our next noted game of the week is the Friday the 13th game is finally out and released.
Yeah.
So that's cool as fuck. So this is one of those asymmetrical games where you have one player who is playing as Jason and the other people are playing as the Cap counselors or everything like that. And the goal is to either survive and get away, or you're Jason's side, or you have to kill all the little camper people. And look at that. And it's actually set at Crystal Lake and everything. So during the beta times where you could play for the multiplayer and while they were testing and everything, it got pretty good reviews and everything from that time. But now that it's coming out, a lot of people are enjoying it. It seems like that the setting of being Jason really sells the game well and allows this type of gameplay to work. Because if this was kind of generic and everything, it might have had like a small following, maybe on Steam or something. But since it is a reasonably full budget game, not like AAA quality in terms of budget, but a decent budget, and you play as the killer himself, it works well in this type of asymmetrical gameplay setting because you've got that iconic person like Jason. It sells it very well. So this is definitely a checkout for me. Actually, I think I'm buying this today. I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna see if Crazy Peepers has got it. Yeah, because I know he wanted to get it, and I'm gonna play the shit out of this. I'm not gonna get it on PlayStation. I'm gonna get it on PC though. So yeah, so that's the other noted new game for release that came out this week. Definitely check it out, guys. I think that's one worth it. It's $40 too. Not even like a full price game. Or at least on Steam. I think it's probably if it's $60 on PlayStation, that would suck. It probably is.
Mm.
Got to pay that console tax.
Mm.
Yep. So that's our gaming spotlight.
Yay.
And that'll be our show.
Woo.
I want to thank Artemis Prime for joining us as always. It's always good having him. I'm Mac19. It's
Don't
always
worry,
nice.
we're gonna try to fix it where we're not gonna have one host a week.
I know it seems like that lately.
It seems like it, but it's not what happened.
We think Crazy Peepers fell asleep.
Yeah, that's all.
He's like, that's the drool.
yeah.
I animate
I
my
know
own
what you're
drool.
getting there. It's cool. Maybe he'll watch this episode and be like, "You motherfudger."
You motherfudgers. Yeah, he'll say mudgerfudgers, exactly.
Probably not. He's a little bit more rated R, but it's okay. It's
Rated
close
R
enough.
superstar. Oh, I just made a WWE reference.
He was the greatest. He was the greatest.
He was. I like how he's saying was like he's dead. He was the greatest.
Well, he pretty much is. He was forced to retire. But anyway, that's the end of our show.
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah, that's the end of our show. Make sure you check out all of our social network information on the screen there, or if you're listening via podcast or audio only. Make sure you check out Twitter at RFPTV. Like us on Facebook, just search Remove from Play. And same thing for Google Plus and all the other social networking sites. Just search Remove from Play under the search bar, or go to megaswitcher.com for all the VODs and all the other shows, and even join the forums, megaswitcher.proboards.com. This has been Remove from Play, episode 184, the real 184, since Crazy Peepers isn't here. May 30th, 2017. We'll catch you all next week. Peace out, bitches.
Bye.